Before going into a molecular pump, we'll look how a normal pump, a mechanical pump, works. Well, here we have a pump which is transporting water from a low gravitational potential to a higher gravitational potential. Here you can see the motor will bring the water from down and it will give it at a sink at a higher altitude. Well, here the difference in potential is the difference between the gravitational potential, which comes from the gh, where g is gravitational acceleration and h is the height. Well, so every motor acts with the same principle, that it takes something from a low potential to high potential using energy or at the consumption of energy, and this energy can be provided by a battery, like for small motors, or through AC current. So something similar happens with our molecular pumps. Now taking an example, here we have some kind of molecule, for example some ions, which is higher concentration outside the cell, while it has a lower concentration inside the cell. But for some particular purpose, we have to send the ion or transport the ion from inside to outside. Well, unlike channel, this cannot happen through simple diffusion. Because the concentration outside is high and inside low, the ion cannot just simply diffuse because it is more crowded outside. It cannot just pass through a channel. For this reason, what we do, we bring a molecular machine, which is a molecular pump, which will have one configuration which can accommodate an ion or few ions from the inside, and then it will change the conformation, which will release the ion outside. And in order to bring this conformational change, we need to consume energy, and inside the cell, ATP is the source of energy for all the metabolic processes. So ATP will be hydrolyzed to ADP, and this will release energy and inorganic phosphate, which will be used by the motor, the pump. Now we'll look into some classes of pumps that act on the cell surface or inside the cell. ATP powered pumps are also called ATPases because they break down ATP into ADP and inorganic phosphate, which also releases energy, and this is the energy which is used for different function of the pumps. These are in true sense molecular machines because these pumps are utilizing energy to do something which cannot happen spontaneously, so you can consider them as machines. So there are three classes of pumps and one superfamily, which can be also considered as the fourth class of pumps. Now I'll look briefly at each of them. In this video I'll be talking about the first of the classes, which is P-type pump or P-class pump. Now here the P stands for phosphorylation, which will come in some time soon. P-class pump has two alpha subunits, which are consisting of alpha helices, and one of this alpha subunit will undergo phosphorylation. Phosphorylation means attachment of a phosphate molecule or moiety. Now this phosphorylation happens at one of the aspartic acid residue. There are additional beta subunits, which can be 1 or 2 in number. Now these beta subunits, as the name suggests, consist of beta seeds. Now these beta subunits have regulatory functions, so they can interact with other signaling proteins and then regulate the functioning of the pump. Now we are going to look at some of the examples. So the first example will be a proton pump. A P-class proton pump is present in the plasma membrane of fungus and plants. Now there are also Na plus K plus pumps, and then we have proton and K plus pumps and also calcium pumps. Here is a structure of a calcium pump. You can clearly see the two alpha subunits, the blue violet one and a red yellow one. So there are two separate alpha subunits, and also you can see the beta subunits at the bottom attached with the alpha subunits.